Kia ora koutou. Today I've got something for all you early morning people. This is something that you can keep an eye on in our morning skies over the next couple of weeks from sort of around about 5:45 to 6:15 each morning. So I'm going to show you what I saw in the sky this morning, and we'll just go over what's going to be happening over the next couple of weeks. Now this is set up for New Zealand, roughly where I am. You still can see this in other parts of the world, so to our friends in the Northern Hemisphere and other places, you can still kind of see it in most places, but the alignment might be a little bit different. We're going to be talking about Venus and Mars. They might be swapped around a little bit, the directions of things will be sort of rotated and stuff, but you can still see the same sort of thing. So what we're looking at here, this is, as I say, what I saw this morning. Around about 5:45 this morning, looking out towards the east, you can kind of see the glow of the sun just below the horizon there coming up. So you're looking towards roughly where the sun is going to be coming up. You'll see the very bright planet Venus there. You just can't miss Venus. It'll be very obvious. Now, just below and to the right, we have got the planet Mars, which is much harder to see. So it could be a little bit tricky. You may have some problems if you've got a bit of light pollution and that sort of stuff. But that's what you're looking for, Venus and the sort of slightly reddish, orangey red Mars just below it. So that's what it looked like this morning, and over the next couple of weeks what we're going to see is those things are moving closer together. So I'm going to go forward one day at a time. Each day is still around about 5:45 in the morning, so that was this morning, tomorrow morning, and we'll just keep going one day at a time, and you'll see that Venus is coming down, Mars is getting closer and closer to it. Then around about the 23rd, they're right next to each other, very close, and then they start moving further apart. Venus is coming down lower each morning. Mars will continue on its way, and then they sort of start drifting apart. And then we're around about the 7th, we can see the very thin crescent moon coming in, and then around about the 9th the moon will be very close. We can just perhaps zoom in a little bit there, and you can kind of see not much to it, the very thin crescent moon there. So that's about the 9th of March that we're looking at there. So we're seeing those two planets in the morning sky sort of moving together and then starting to drift apart. So I think it's worth keeping an eye on these things. I wouldn't probably bother getting out of bed if you're not a morning person to go and see this, but if you're up and about, it's worth going outside and having a look. So that's what we see from our point of view. If we have a look at what is actually happening out there, if we sort of look at the orbital paths of everything, so we've got the sun in the middle there, these are the inner planets, we've got Earth down here, then we've got Venus up here, and Mars up here. Now from our perspective here, these planets are all going to be rotating anti-clockwise. So let's have a look at what is going to be happening there. So if you imagine from the Earth's point of view, and we're looking towards Venus and Mars there, you can see Venus is off to one side, but because Venus is orbiting around more quickly, it's going to go past Mars from our point of view and out the other side. So let's just roll this forward. We might just have to speed this up a little bit so you can see them hopefully orbiting there. I'll just speed it up a little bit, and around about here, around about the 23rd, Venus and Mars from our point of view go right next to each other. Then Venus starts moving away further from Mars. So, and that's why we're heading off into the middle of March by now. And if we kept following this, you could see that from Earth's point of view, looking towards the sun, Venus is actually getting closer and closer to the sun as we go around. So from our point of view, it's going to be going lower and lower in the sky, or getting closer to the sun. You can actually see that happening. And then eventually it will be behind the sun from our point of view, and will continue around, and then it will be visible in the evening instead of the morning. So that's how the inner planets kind of flip between morning objects and evening objects. So there you are. That is basically what we're looking at, the planets Venus and Mars in the early mornings. You probably want to get up, I would say by about 5:45, because you've got that morning sun coming up, so that is going to get in the way. If you get up a little bit earlier, it's going to be lower, so that makes it more tricky, but it will be a little bit darker. So there you go, have fun looking at that. Thanks very much everyone, ka kite.